Today we will go on to chapter 5, Mass Media and History. The word mass means everybody, Pura Hindustan, Pura Dunia. That is the meaning of mass. And media means method of communication. It can be newspapers, it can be radio, it can be television, it's the internet. So today we have got extensive mass media operation. While in the olden days, the Raja's drummer used to come at the location of the gaon and then used to bang the drum and then announce, Aika, oh Aika. Nowadays we don't have that. In the time of Julius Caesar, there was a printed paper known as Acta Diurna. Now you will ask me, was there paper at that time? Yes, there was. Paper was invented in Egypt. And writing was also invented, ink and writing was also invented in Egypt. So the Roman diktat of the Caesar, the ruler, Caesar means king, was announced on this paper. Acta means acts done during, diurna means day. All the acts done during that day were stuck on the walls of Rome. The people in Rome knew what is happening. Then you have the printing press which came. After the printing press came into existence in Europe, papers were printed, news were printed on paper and sold in the market. While in 1780, an Irish gentleman, Irish means he is from Ireland. Ireland is an island next to England. Augustus Hickey, he started the first newspaper in India. At that time, Calcutta was the capital of British India. So this paper was known as a Calcutta General Advertiser or the Bengal Gazette. After Bengal, the next most enthusiastic state in India was Maharashtra. Of course, there was no Maharashtra at that time. Maharashtra was born in 1960, 1st May 1960. Before that, there was no Maharashtra, but there were people, Marathas and the Gujaratis. So it was known as Saurashtra and Mahar. So a person by the name of Bal Shastri Jambekar, he started the first newspaper in India, and that is called Darpan. In India means in Maharashtra. I don't mean in India. That time India did not exist. India was a land ruled by around 600 different Rajas. And the British had a large amount of land under them. They were called the provinces. And the Rajas' lands were known as the princely states. What did the Darpan contain? It contained accounts, their income and expenditure of the East India Company, the danger of Russian attack on India, appointment for the cleanliness of the city, remarriage of the Hindu widows, the inception of theatre in Calcutta, achievements of Raja Ram Mohan Roy in England, to throw light on the various historical events of those days. Then you have got Prabhakar, which was started by Bhau Mahajan. Now you must know these newspapers and who started them, because it comes, which is the wrong one, choose the wrong one, wrong pair. The French Revolution and Lokatwadi's writings. Lokatwadi was, his official name was Gopal Hari Deshmukh. for creating social awareness were published in these papers. Then you have got Jnanodaya. Jnanodaya started in 1842 when it printed a map of Asia, and then printing of illustrations, pictures, black and white of course. That time there was no color. And when the first train in India, Mumbai to Thane, so that article was there as Chakya Mahasoba. That means Masoba with wheels. Newspapers at those times were a very important medium of creating social awareness. There was a lot of injustice in India, sati, child marriage, widows' ill treatment. All this caste system. All these articles used to be printed in the papers. And people used to read it. And we have studied in 8th standard the Renaissance which took place in India, the transformation from the ancient world into the modern world with the help of the British and leaders like Raja Ram Mohan Roy and Vagera, so many others. Then Dinabandhu, another newspaper, was printed, Bahu Samaj, by Mahatma Jyotirao Phule and Krishna Rao Bhalekar. Then Tilak started Kesari and Maratha, basically to speak against the British and instigate the Indians to revolt against the British. Gopal Ganesh Agarkar and Bal Gandharva Tilak started this together. Then came magazines and journals. These magazines were weekly magazines. Bi-weekly means every 2 weeks. Monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, every 6 months, and annually. There were also centenary, bicentenary, some events that have taken place. So, magazines and journals brought a lot of information to the people. What is happening? People are getting enlightened. People are getting smart. They are beginning to understand. What is happening in India? Social upliftment was taking place. Besides that, lots of information was being printed in those papers which the people liked to read. And they were inquisitive to find out more. Bal Shastri Jambekar started the first monthly magazine in Marathi, Digdarshan. Then there was Pragati, edited by Triambak Shankar Sejwalkar. They wrote about Maharashtra history and current affairs, Bharatiya Itihas and Samskruti, and Marathwada Itihas, Parishad Pratrika. So there was a lot of excitement among the people. We are talking of historiography. Historiography talks about everything. So this is what we are talking about, what happened in that particular period of time, from the ancient period, where it came with a drum and made the announcements in the chowkis, to the Roman actor, Diaruna means day, and then the printing press came, and printed newspapers came out, printouts came out. Then there was competition among the newspapers to give the latest news. Then from that started the magazines and journals, scientific journals, political journals. These were weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, bi-monthly, 6 monthly, annually. So a lot of information is being spread throughout the people, all over, wherever it is available. And because of that, people got enlightened. People became smart. They began to understand what is happening. And they started encouraging. And people wanted more, so they printed more. And so there were many papers in Bengali and in Hindi and in Urdu and in Marathi. After that period of time, we came to a period where the radio was invented. And once the radio was invented, radio broadcasting started. In India also, broadcasting started by it was known as IBC. It was a private company. Later on, the British government took it and called it ISBC, Indian State Broadcasting System. And then in 1936, it was renamed All India Radio under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. After independence, they asked the great poet Pandit Narendra Sharma, "Kya naam dene ka hai?" And he called it Akashvani. And that is how Akashvani came. And people used to walk around with their transistors stuck to their ears, listening to music, listening to news, listening to various programs on the radio. Then after Akashvani, it became to be known as Vivid Bharati in 24 regional languages as well as 146 dialects. What is a dialect? A dialect is a sub-language. Now Marathi is the language of Maharashtra, but if you go to Vidarbha, they speak some other kind of Marathi. If you go to Khandesh, there's another kind of Marathi. If you go to Konkan, there's another kind of Marathi. And then the general people of Bombay, Pune have another type of Marathi. So these different variations of Marathi are called dialects. So in every language there are many dialects according to the convenience of that particular area. Like in Nagaland, there are 46 languages. All that area there are so many tribes. Each tribe has their own language. Mizoram, there are so many tribes. Meghalaya, there are so many tribes. And these tribes, Nepal, Arunachal Pradesh, all these tribes have got their own tribal languages. Then, in 1972, black and white television came and it was called Doordarshan. It was opening ceremony was conducted by the President of India, the then President of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. 10 years after 1st May 1972, 15th August 1982, color television came to India. And when color television came to India, most of the programs were conducted and people got very interested in the television, and there were so many different programs that people sat and saw their programs instead of doing their other work. The TV became a part of their life. Why do we need mass media? We need mass media to tell the world what has happened. Now today, Kangana, that film actress, she has put down the name of Maharashtra police as unreliable and the Shiv Sena as Pakistanis. So there's a huge problem going on. She was supposed to reach Bombay at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock this evening. But all the news is there on the YouTube or on Sam TV. Everyone is observing what is happening. Now, I did not see what was happening because I was busy. I will reach home around 7 o'clock, then I will see what I have to see. But then the whole of India knows, not only India, the whole world knows what is happening. So, one has to be very careful how they behave in public because it's all available. We have a Prime Minister who has got his Man Ki Baat program, and the whole of India listens, Pakistan also listens, China also listens to find out what is the Prime Minister of India talking. That is called mass media. Do we require mass media? Of course we require mass media to find out what is happening in this super fast world of ours. Things are changing very fast. What is happening at the border of Ladakh? What is happening in the South China Seas? What is India doing? What is America doing? The American elections. That's in November. September and October is going to be hot. Accusations like last time when Hillary Clinton and Trump ran for the elections. How much of nonsense was spoken. Now the same thing is going to happen now. It's interesting to watch all this on the television. You can switch channels. You can listen to BBC. You can listen to American CBS. And you can listen to Al Jazeera, the Doha. You can listen to Japanese TV, NKTV. You can listen to DW, German TV. And you can listen to a variety of Indian TVs, Republic, Times Now, and beyond. You get all the information that is happening right now at this moment. क्या हो रहा है पूरा दुनिया में, वो सारे चीज न्यूज में आते हैं. And then we have to verify. ये जो बोल रहे सच बोल रहे या fake news. You will see in your book on page 35 how the fake news in Germany by the most popular paper magazine in Germany, Stern, printed the diaries of Hitler and later on found out it is all fake. Similarly, we must also find out whether it's fake news or genuine news. And how do we do this? By switching channels. We go to a reputed channel, and does that channel give this particular news? If it doesn't, then you can be assured that it will be most probably fake news. There are many news which are fake news. But people like to hear gossips, bad things about others. And therefore, such channels also work. But that is not how you should understand. You should understand and find out what is correct and what is wrong. Newspapers have to fulfill the task of providing fresh news to its traders, to its readers. You have editorials where the editor writes. You have articles. You have on this day in history. You have reviews. Kai's Halle, Kasa Kai's Halle. You have news. And you have columns. Columns mean somebody is writing some smart article about something which people on that particular field will read it. People who are not interested in that field will not read it. Thus, people are waiting in the mornings first thing to see the news. But now because the television has come in, people are not so much interested in the newspapers. They are more interested in the TV news. So everyone watches the television news to find out what is happening. World War III kab chalu hoega? Everybody is on their toes. Besides that, there are crossword puzzles, There's Sudoku, whatever that Chinese Japanese game is. Then you have got word building games. So the newspaper becomes very important. Then there's a special commemoration day like Quit India movement, Salt March, Gandhiji's Dandi March. It is all recorded and maintained in the archives, in the film archives. All these things are recorded. In the paper archives, all these newspaper records are kept. They are not destroyed. That is why 50 years ago, what happened on this day is available. 100 years ago, what happened on this day is available. History is also essential in planning radio programs. So you have got lectures and contribution by various historians who tell us what has happened on that particular event. And they have to be proper people having the proper knowledge, otherwise the criticism will come the very next moment. Today we have got a mobile and immediately calls will come in criticizing the wrong thing that has been spoken. Besides that, the Ramayana and Mahabharata is also shown. One important thing was Bharate Khoj, a book written by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Discovery of India. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru is a Pandit from Kashmir, brought up in Delhi and educated in Cambridge or Oxford universities in London. He was a lawyer, and when he came back, it was on the support of Gandhiji that he became very popular, and he was the first Prime Minister of India, and he had to know what is happening all over India. Therefore, he wrote a book, Discovery of India, and the story was made into a movie by Shyam Benegal, and the actor was Roshan Seth, who looked somewhat like Nehru. And so instead of reading the autobiography of Nehru and finding out all this, you can see this movie. It is available on the YouTube. You can see this movie and then understand the past. What happened during the time of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Similarly, many historical events are also shown on the television. And if one is inquisitive, can find out. You can find out more on the YouTube. You can go into the YouTube and you will find out many things more. Today we have got channels like Discovery, National Geography, History, where many things are shown. Animal Kingdom. And you can understand so many things. There's also travelogues, like traveling. And you can see many places and countries without going to that country. You need a lot of money, you need passport, you need visas, you need to arrange your hotel room, you got to adjust to the food available. But now you can sit on your armchair in the house or on your sofa or your whatever comfortable position you're in, and you can see these programs on the television in Discovery and all those various channels. Besides that, you can see the matches, various matches, cricket matches, football matches, Wimbledon matches, car racing, motorcycle racing. All these things are available in the television set or in your mobile. और कितना नहीं.
Fortunate.
And thus, you have a huge treasure of information and knowledge. Previously, one had to go to a library, sit there, look into this book, that book, read it, write it, and then you make a report. Today, it is so easy. You can connect your mobile to your computer and you can take out printouts or whatever you want and then collate all this thing. Collate means mix it all up and make a report. You can even add photographs in your report today because it is all available. But you must know what to search. And you type out what is want to search and you can find out about anything. You can find out about careers available. There are more than 2,000 careers available in this country today. There are institutions which are giving training in those particular areas. What is your area of life? You can find that out on the YouTube in your mobile, smartphone or Android phone. And you have the application forms there, the fees there, hostel accommodation, minimum qualifications required. Everything is like online application form. Everything is available. So you have to know what has to be done. And when you do this, you are in touch with the whole world. You can have serials about ancient monuments, sports, histories of empires, even cooking. Culinary means cooking, and even how to cook what. It is all available. All you have to type is whatever dish name you have. Suppose you want to say Matar Paneer. So you type Matar Paneer in the search and you will get all the recipes, different recipes, northern style, eastern style, western style, southern style, whatever style you want, you can cook. You don't have to buy books. You have it all in your mobile phone. That is the great advantage of mass media. And because you have this at your liberty, you have all information and knowledge available for your benefit. So with this, I conclude this lecture on chapter 5. Now chapter 4 is not there in your portion this year. For the current year, chapter 4 is not there. So next week, next lecture, we'll have chapter 6.